Hello everyone, I'm Adam. This is, by the way, I'm me. Hi. And I'm back with my uncle, and we are, obviously, doing Batman again. This is part 2 to the previous video where we talked about the first and second Batman movies from Tim Burton. Now we are getting into the Joel Schumacher movies. So, we will begin with Batman Forever. And with this movie, I want you to begin.
Okay.
Let's talk about what you think happened in the movie that was good. What was good about it? What was something that you thought was something interesting about it?
Well, I'm not sure I could say anything good about the movie. Well, I didn't like the visuals, but I'm glad they kind of kept the tone a little dark, even though they really camped it up for the kids. But the story writing, again, there was no story there. Not even sure there was much of a plot there. Jim Carrey was the worst Riddler I've ever seen. I'm not sure I've seen a good Riddler. But
Robin Williams would have been way better.
Robin Williams was cast for the role and paid for it. And again, so was Michelle Pfeiffer, so was Marlon Wayne for Robin. And Billy D. Williams was promised to be Two-Face in this movie. But Tim Burton dropped out because he just didn't want to do another Batman. And Joel Schumacher picked up.
Obviously, we didn't get Billy D. Williams. We got Tommy Lee Jones.
And that would have been my cast for the Batman, and I definitely would have kept the tone very dark.
Because not Billy D. Williams, Two-Face and Harvey Dent are the same person.
Yes.
And Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent in the first two movies.
Yes.
But Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face, which
as I
didn't
was
make
saying,
sense.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, he just wasn't good. I now love Tommy Lee Jones. I think he's a great actor. He just was bad for the role. Just like Jim Carrey was bad for the role. That's why him and Jim Carrey didn't get along, because Jim Carrey's a buffoon. But yeah, Tommy Lee Jones did play the Two-Face. He camped it up and kind of played Two-Face up as a buffoon with the giggling and the ha 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 ha. I hated that. I think, but anyways, as I was saying, you can't be just mad at Joel Schumacher for directing two of the worst of the Batman movies, who almost literally ended the franchise. You also gotta be mad at Tim Burton because Joel Schumacher personally asked Tim Burton, do you mind if I play it up campy? Because I want my Batman to feel like a cartoon. But you got a legacy of playing Batman more darker, more gritty. I will go that way if you want me to. But I don't want to disrespect you. That's what he said to Tim Burton. You know what Tim Burton said? No, I'm done with Batman. I'm out of there. I'm done. Do what you want to with Batman. Do whatever you want. I'm fine with it. I'm not going to hurt my feelings. Please. You want to do Batman campy? Do it campy. I just wanted to say it was dark and that was it. But you do Batman how you want to do it. So you got to be angry at both directors for that. And that's a very negligent way of handling a franchise, especially as a director. So I definitely put the blame on both of them. I did like the concept art that Tim Burton had for this Batman. Even for the next Batman after this one. I can't remember her name, but she played in Beetlejuice is one of the two people that had died and was haunting Olivia, or the house. What was her name? The wife of Alec Baldwin in that movie. I can't remember the characters' names, names, but I can't remember her name. But there was concept art that Tim Burton did. I know this has nothing to do with Batman Forever, but it does have to do with Batman and Robin. And we are going to do that video next. The concept art of her is Poison.
This video.
Well, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, well, then I can say it. The concept art that he did of her as Poison Ivy looked, oh my god.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I saw that too.
But anyways, we'll get into that.
When the time comes.
When we get into the Batman and Robin. But anyways, I feel like that they really screwed Robin Williams out of the role of
Riddler.
Of the Riddler, yes. Even though they hired and casted and paid him for it. No, that's a waste of money. And even Robin Williams said, and this pertains to the first Batman as well as the third one, Robin Williams said in an interview, and it kind of broke my heart a little bit that they used the man like that. He said that they came to him to play the Joker in the 1989 Batman. But Tim Burton admitted that, yes, he came to Robin Williams to play the Joker, which wouldn't have been a good idea. But you still got up the man's hopes, knowing you didn't want to cast him as the Joker. And Tim Burton admitted, another reason you should be mad at Tim Burton, he also admitted that he came to Robin Williams with the role of the Joker just to try to get Jack Nicholson on board as a Joker because he was a Hollywood big budget actor and that's what he wanted to make sure this film banked on money. That right there shows you that Tim Burton himself didn't even have confidence in doing a superhero movie. He didn't have no confidence. That's why he used Robin Williams to get to Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson even stated he wouldn't have had to do that to get me on board. He was going to play it dark and not church it up for the kids. I was going to do the role. He even said that he even put money into making this movie happen. That Jack Nicholson himself put money on the table on this movie to make the first movie happen. Then Batman Forever comes out or gets announced that they're going to do Batman Forever. Well, they promised him the role of the Riddler. Robin Williams was psyched once again. And Robin Williams talked about that in an interview, and he said, well, they screwed me out of the role of the Joker. Then they get me on board to play the Riddler. I was excited to do it. I wanted to play him as dark as I could. And I prepared for this, you know. And they screwed me out of playing the Riddler in that Batman movie. I've always wanted to be in a Batman movie.
And they decided to give the role of the Riddler to
Jim Carrey because he was
a rising actor.
Yes.
He was a rising Canadian actor.
And he was a horrible Riddler.
He was. He really made Riddler look not like a cartoon, but more like a piece of paint splattered on a canvas that looks wrong.
And it wouldn't matter if they recasted the actor to play Batman, but I don't feel that Val Kilmer was the man for the job. And
he somehow seemed worse than Michael Keaton to me.
I really liked Val Kilmer, but not as Batman. I like him as he's a good actor. I really felt that they should have went with Charlie Sheen from the beginning to the end. Never happened. Well, Robin Williams also stated that he got hired to play the Riddler in one of the Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight series. Even though they had no plans for Roulette, but just in case, they had Robin Williams on call, and he commented that they screwed him out of that role as well. You know, I really felt like the directors of the Warner Brothers studio of the Batman franchise really jerked Robin Williams around and screwed around with his feelings. Shame on them for that. That really angers me, and that's why I am angry at, one of the reasons I'm very angry at Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher, even Christopher Nolan. Personally, I didn't like the Nolan franchises, but that's not what this video is about. Okay.
Now, let me say what I thought about it. I can't really find anything good about this movie. I feel like there may have been slight interesting points in it, but it wasn't the good interest. It was more what's happening. I was confused slightly.
I was too growing up with this movie.
But then again, I went from watching Batman and Batman Returns, which are two pretty dark versions of Batman, as he said, to watching this campy Batman movie that didn't feel like it should be part of the Batman universe. And the casting was off. Tommy Lee Jones, I don't hate him. Me and him will be talking about a movie that
I love Tommy Lee Jones, but he was a bad
me and him
Two-Face, and I don't think Tommy Lee Jones himself would argue that, because he said he had a miserable time playing the character, and he didn't even understand the character. His son talked him into it because his son was big into comic books, and he mostly did it out of the love for his son, and you can't get mad at him for that.
Yeah.
You know.
But we don't hate Tommy Lee Jones. We actually like him. We will talk about a movie pretty soon in the future that we believe he did well in.
Yes. The one thing I have to say about the whole franchise of Batman I do not like is Bob Kane. I have a big issue with him.
Creator.
Yeah, the creator. Okay? He couldn't even give credit where credit was due to Bill Finger. Bill Finger was his co-creator. Okay? If you look at Bob Kane's vision of Batman and his art on it, you'd see it's not the Batmans that you know. It's not.
I know.
Bill Finger created the Batman we all know and most people love. And I really think that in every future Batman movie, they need to put creator Bob Kane and Bill Finger. That is so selfish of him to take all the credit and the glory, and his wife, Bob Kane's wife, I can't remember her name, to back him up. And she plays in this movie and Batman and Robin. She plays a reporter in Batman and Robin who questions Bruce Wayne about marriage. And she plays in the Batman Forever where she's at the, I guess, party that gets Riddler's party that gets busted by Two-Face.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I just found the movie over the top, just silly and goofy, too childlike for my taste, too over the top camp, you know.
But it is a slight guilty pleasure.
Maybe for some people, but not really for me.
So, what would you rate it? Probably going to be low.
Yeah, it's going to be real low. I definitely rate it a 1 or a 2.
Out of what? 10 or 5?
Out of 10. Out of 1,000.
Yeah.
To be honest. Let's be honest.
Probably a 1 out of 10, but whenever it comes to out of 5...
But I can see...
A 0.5.
I can understand that some people grew up with it and enjoy it for its campiness. To me, that's just not my Batman. And if that's your Batman, that is fine. Please don't take offense to our opinions. And, you know, it's just our opinions. You know, we're not going to hate anybody because they love something that we hate. You know. And that's okay to like things that other people don't like, you know.
Now, as you have noticed, we have versions of all of the movies.
Not all the movies. We don't have
But
Batman and Robin.
we decided not to get Batman and Robin. We had no interest in picking it up.
Even though...
But we will talk about it.
Even though these movies at the comic book shop were like...
$1?
25... No, they weren't even $1.
$1 for all four.
No. Well, maybe. They were like 25 cents to 50 cents. So, you know... I want to have movies that I grew up with that I enjoyed, even though I don't really find them necessarily good movies. And I'm probably never going to watch them, to be honest. But they're just there for show because it's the franchise, you know. It's Batman, you know.
Okay, now
But anyways, I couldn't bear to spend 1 red cent on Batman and Robin. I hated the visuals. The visuals were god awful. At least in Batman Forever, they still kept the tone slightly dark. But in Batman Robin, it was campy. I hated the bat nipples. Oh my god, the bat nipples were awful.
That's what I was about to say. Let's move on to Batman and Robin. Now, as you can tell, both of us have nothing good to say about this movie. The bat nipples, the bat credit card, the bat everything.
George Clooney's face literally bleeds through the mask. Like, you could see his face through the mask because he's just got too strong of a chin. You know? And every time when I was little and I was watching this movie, I remember the first time my mom got it for me on Christmas when I was little. Because she knew I loved Batman. I loved superheroes. And when I got done watching it on Christmas night, I literally cried to my mom, handing her the DVD saying, "You gotta take it back. You gotta tell Warner Brothers or whoever made this movie, they gotta remake it. It's not good." I literally cried. No, we had a DVD player.
It must have been early DVDs.
Yeah,
because this was time. 90s.
Yeah, this was like 97 that movie came out. Okay. So I literally cried on Christmas after watching this movie to my mom, begging her to take it back, tell them to remake it, because I didn't like it.
Like a mother has that power.
Well, and in my mind as a small child, it was like you think your parents have the power that they don't have, you know. The casting
was terrible. Arnold Schwarzenegger, no.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, no. I would have casted him in the movie, most definitely. But as Bane. Not as Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is supposed to be skinny.
I think
Christopher Lloyd would have been a great one.
Christopher Lloyd, I've always said, would have made a great Mr. Freeze. And
Arnold Schwarzenegger would be a good Bane.
Been a great Bane. He's got the accent. Bane's not an idiot. He doesn't go around boom, 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 like a brain dead zombie. Okay? Bane is intelligent. He even has a backstory in comics of being raised in prison from child to an adult because his mom gave birth to him or something like that in prison. I don't remember the whole story, so please forgive me if you're a comic book fan. I've not read comic books since I was a kid. Okay?
Yeah, he is.
But he did have a backstory, and he had kind of like a Russian-German accent. Perfect for Schwarzenegger, and he's a big guy.
Because the Australian accent isn't that far.
They really squandered that away, but no, we got an overweight mental Bane.
And although I don't like her,
Uma Thurman was not a good Poison Ivy. Yeah. And Alicia Silverstone was not a good Batgirl. I don't even think that movie even needed a Batgirl. But if you're going to put a Batgirl in the movie...
Actually, wait, no. Batman Forever was Batgirl.
No, it wasn't. No, that's his love interest.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Which, I wouldn't have had a problem with Batgirl being in a movie, but not Alicia Silverstone, you know. pick a natural redhead girl, you know? Make her the commissioner's daughter, not Alfred Pennyworth's niece. I mean, the dude was like in his 90s. And we, the audience, are supposed to believe that this young girl, teenage girl, is his niece. Even as a little kid, I didn't buy that for a minute. I'm just like, I just felt like that movie really insulted kids' intelligence. I felt like my intelligence was insulted when I was a kid watching this. But anyways, it didn't tell a good story. The story wasn't there. The plot wasn't there. You know, and the whole hockey thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. My first thought when I was little and I saw that, if I wanted to watch hockey...
We just turn on the game.
Yes. I would watch the Mighty Ducks or something. I didn't need that in my Batman movie. You know, the click of the heels, you know. It was like watching Wizard of Oz version of Batman on ice skates. And hockey, God, oh my God. What was he thinking? And I loved how when I've seen the behind the scenes, Joel Schumacher's running around with that big speaker. It's a cartoon, people! It's a cartoon! Batman's not a freaking cartoon.
And what I find funny is...
Even the animated series portrayed Batman more serious than that, with actual story.
Yeah, and what I find cool, I mean, not cool, but sad, is that, in my opinion, so far the only good Batman movies have been the cartoons.
And Joel Schumacher once apologized. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I'm sorry if I upset anyone. They hated my Batman. I just wanted to entertain. Batman is not just for your campy entertainment. He's not Superman. Superman, you can play it campy. You can play it dark. No one's going to complain. But Batman was originally written dark, and that's how it should remain. And put actual story into it. I mean, on DC Comics it says, world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Not the world's greatest fighter. Okay? I mean, not that they shouldn't put that he is a great fighter, because, you know, all the training he did.
Yeah, he went through a lot of training.
But Batman is much more than that. He is a detective. Even Christopher Nolan